Good morning, people. Good morning. Today is June the 9th. Woot woot. Well, crazy about today. Nothing. Anyway, 2020. Whenever we go to run 8, I'm going to jump right up in here right now. Whenever we go to run 8 and there's an update, we have to pretty much, let me actually, I had everything except that set up, so let me go over there to run 8 simulator right there and pull this up. I want to pull this over here real quickly so that we see what I'm talking about. Updates. Whenever you do an update, it's going to tell you to do a backup, to back up your stuff. This is the latest one, run 9, the 9th run 8 version 2 update as of 2019. But it will tell you to make sure that you back up your stuff, your industry. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Don't forget also to check here. I've also been working. I'm always updating my spreadsheet. You guys are welcome to come in. You can come in right here and print it up if you want. All of SoCal, A-Line, Selkirk and Mohawk, Barstow Hump, West Colton Hump, Waycross, A-Line Hump, and the Selkirk hump. I have everything up in here, so, well, not everything, but I have quite a lot in here, so feel free to jump up in there and use it if it helps you. If you're on a server, make sure you go by their rules. So check with them first before you go and just change their hump cards. And don't save it to the host because, yeah, they might not like that. So first things first. If we hit the left control and the I button, we get what's called this industry configuration. Notice that nowhere on here does it talk about, or is there a button for exporting industry. So it's only importing. If I click on that, it gives me where is it at on your computer. There is no button here at all. So we're going to escape out of that. The same thing with your trains here. I have a train sitting here, the Y111. So I am actually going to hit the right control button and the L key, and we have a switch list that you can actually export off of this particular train. And it just saves it. So it says file written. But where are things written at? Well, I'm going to put it in a link down below, but I'm also going to show you right here. I found this out, and there is a PDF that comes with Run 8. This is where it's at, right up in here. So if you install this simulator, this game, into the directory that it's set up for, this is where you will find it. So PC, local disk C. I'm actually just going to start right here. Actually, let's go back right here. Okay, so local disk C, and then you'll say Run 8 Studios, Run 8 Trim Simulator version 2. Then it's going to be under Content. So look here under Content. Then you're going to go to V2 Routes, and then you're going to go to Regions, right here, Regions. Now, there's two ways of doing this. You can copy all of the regions you want just by right clicking and then coming down here and say copy, which I'm not going to do, and you double click on regions, and now here you are. Selkirk, this right here is the A line. This is Southern California, Selkirk, and you can copy. So I would, now this one I would go click and copy, and then you would back it up to wherever you want. So let's say I was going to put it on my F drive, right here, Run 8 backup, Content again, V2 Routes, Regions, and then I could just right click over here and paste, which I'm not going to because I've already done it. And it'll sit here and it'll take a while to do everything dealing with Selkirk. So basically this file right here is what you really want. Now this is the other way to do it. Come in and oops. So let's go back one step where I was at. So we were right here. Let's come to this. Well, you may have the original Barstow. So let's go to Barstow area. I mean, here I have stuff backed up, but the industry configuration report is the one that you're going to want. So we would say copy, and then you would paste it to wherever you wanted to save it. In this case, I'm actually doing this backwards, ain't I? Alrighty, we'll get back up in here, we'll get it right. I'm actually doing this backwards. Okay, so here, industry configuration, I would just say copy, and where do I want to back it up to? Now, what I want to show here also is, see this one right here, config back to .industry. You can back up right here within the same and create a second, and then when you load the game, it'll create a brand new industry config file. So if I was to say right here and say rename, and I'm actually going to do this just for a second here, let me say -3 and hit enter. Okay, so there it is. I just renamed it. Notice that the original one is gone. There is now no config.industry. Now I do have run 8 running, but this is the Selkirk area. Get back over here. Now, if I was to exit and re-enter into the game, well, you know what? Let's do that. Let's do that. And I'll show you here. F1. Let me save real quick here, because I got a couple of AI trains going. Exit. Okay, wait for it to finish. Let's say we are in the right there, and which one? The world active, that's the one I was using. Okay, now we're going to run this up in here, and I'm going to show you about backing up in the industry file and deleting it and what happens. So you can create a backup of the actual indie file, the industry file. Now that this is in, let's go back over here. Let's give it a second. It's only 54 trains. This is one this is off my computer, just kind of BSing around a little bit with here. And everything is loaded. Now, come here, and I'm going to hit refresh. Whoops. Let's do this instead. Come back in. This PC industries, what I'm looking for. Content. The 2 routes. Regions. Southern California. And it didn't do it. Interesting. It should have put in a new one. Why did it not do it? I don't know. Let's take a look at the industry. Industry configuration, generate car report. That was with the export. Oh, there's it's learning something new. Export industry configuration. What the heck did they do? It was right control I. Nope. Right control L. Right control L, that was it. Okay. There it is. Okay. And it rewrote it. So, okay. It's been a while since I've done this, but there's that industry config. So what I did to make this work right was right control right control L. Left control. Come on, get it together. Left control L as in Larry. Then we'll go to industry configuration and export. So there is a way to do that. Okay. For some reason I wasn't remembering this, but I knew that it would put the new one in and generate a car report. Now let's go back here and take a look. I don't have a train, so there's not going to be any car report, but there it is. So this is the one that I changed, and that's the one that it just made. Now let's go back up here. Whoops. Let's say I'm actually, let's exit this one. Minimize. And just go back up to this one here where I've been working at. Now this circuit heavy haul comes with the game, but there's no trains or cars or anything on there. So this is one that when I do make my thing active, this is the one that you'll be going to when I decide the time frames. But let this load for a second. And I'm gonna have to come back over here and grab this locomotive once everything loads in. I got 146 trains, so give me just a second here. I gotta buy some more textures for trains too, and I want this one because it's the Y111, which we're going to talk about here as well. So let's come back to here, Selkirk. So again, you can do a copy of the whole thing and then export it to your hard drive, your external hard drive or wherever, and then to restore it, you can do it one of two ways. Again, regions, and in this case it was the Selkirk. Again, I would just do either a copy of the whole folder or go into the folder and select that one right there and copy that. So right now this is where the industry thing is at, and go back and then back to the default location under content, V2 routes, regions, Selkirk, and then I'll just come over here and do a paste right there. Alright, so slide this out the way for a minute here. Now another thing I wanted to talk about was these export lists. So right control and L, there we go. So you can do an export switch list for if you have a cars or a train that you want to that you got to run. This particular one shows I got 3 of them ready to pick up, none ready to set out. I got to get a new keyboard. This is really acting up. Relinquish. That was a train I just didn't have set up yet. Y122. Right control L. There's nothing to pick up here. The other way to import is to go right here, import industries, and then you would just go through. I forgot to touch on this, so I'm going to do it right now. You would go through basically the same way I just showed you, but this is a longer way. Content, V2 routes, scroll down to regions, and then right there, and there it is. So if you're going to do the import industries, right there it is, if you were to do it this way. So that's all I wanted to touch on, how to back up and restore, or back up and import your industries. And left control I, yep, new keyboard. This one's really acting up, and it's really good to back these up, especially when you're taking the time to create a bunch of new industries, and it's like help. So that's all for today. That's all I want to touch on. Hit that like and subscribe button. I hope this helps you. I actually had to go through, I did want to show you just in case, and I just thought about it. Where is that at? Configuring options, I believe. Nope. Okay, this one right here. Right here. Configuring and using track industry tracks. This is where you can read about how to do this. If it is a PDF file, it does come with the game. The game, yes. To me, that's what it is. And so let's see, file, open file location, and right there it is. Let's see if I can slide this over right here. So if you want to read the whole PDF, it's right here, configuring and using industry tracks, and it's located under user guides. So Train Simulator 2 user guides right here and right there. And then if you want to look up more about hump yards, configuring them, etc., etc. So I thought I'd better touch on that real quickly too. Alright, hit that like and subscribe button, and feel free to leave some comments if I missed something, or if you know a different way. This is the way that I do it, instead of actually doing it the long, drawn out way. It's a quick shortcut way. You can do the whole region if you wanted to. Just make sure that you got your region set up the way you want it. And then again, this is for your computer, so don't go screwing up someone's server. Yeah, and if you put in any kind of like be a friend, I'm just going to ignore you. You put anything about porn sites, I'm going to hide the notification.